So first, let's just get into first overall thoughts on John Cena's promo, where everybody was waiting for it. It was kind of pretty much a historic moment because it was the "Why did I do it?" What were your thoughts on his promo? The direction he went with, the reasoning for his heel turn, didn't change music, didn't change his look. Overall thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, you hit up on the magic formula here, and this had to be by design. That Brussels crowd added so much
Oh,
to the promo. Like
so
the
good.
European crowds have really brought it, and they're starved for events like this. So anytime they get it, they take full advantage. And this is a fantastic setting for Cena's promo. Love the promo. It was exactly what it needed to be. You touched on a couple of things that really emphasized everything. Was just didn't change the music, didn't change the look, and he gave reasonings why. And I think that was super cool and super important. It's just like, listen, this is what you guys were expecting. This isn't about you. I'm not going to give you that, and just kind of another thing to throw at the fans and making it about the fans. That poor kid that got singled out on
Oh, so
camera
good.
I mean, it's
Mhm.
fantastic stuff. This is the kind of stuff
Yep.
we love watching pro wrestling for. That kid's gonna live on as a meme for a good long time. But just like you know, it was exactly what it needed to be. If I had
Yeah.
one tiny little nitpick about it, and obviously I'm not knocking the promo. He knocked it out of the park, and everybody's been super positive on the response. I wish it had been a little bit more about 17. Like I think that was left a little bit. It
All
wasn't
right.
mentioned at all during the promo. And in my mind, that's the catalyst for all this. Is this whole thing started when he lost the Rumble, and then he saw 17 start to fade away. Gave the passionate, promo in the after show leading up to Elimination
Mhm.
Chamber, and kind of, it would have driven it home a little bit more for me if he would have emphasized that he's so obsessed with getting 17 that he was willing to sell his soul to the devil to do it, and just wanted to guarantee that he would break that record. That's the only thing I think was missing from this whole scenario. Other than that, seeing this part was fantastic. Cody coming out and giving his reasoning for wanting to hear him out. After he heard it, he brought his fire. All terrific. The crowd chants, the various crowd chants, even to the point of singing "Na Na Na Goodbye" on the way out. Just a home run of a segment, and we're on the road to Mania with just pure fire. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, they both had a lot to like. They're both fantastic, but they had a lot to do to just make this kind of further make sense, solidify, and then we could really get going. But yeah, you nailed a lot of the aspects. The thing, I guess I'm gotten so used to because it's become a thing for so long, and that, um, like just go into a direction where they're very angry or maybe they're very cocky all of a sudden, like just classic heel turn tropes that we've seen a lot of people. Perfect example is The Rock. What he's done recently, golf, for what he did to kind of this final boss. That's kind of what we've seen in a lot of baggage. So I guess I was so used to, I was expecting something similar. So it took some time to get used to it, but once he really dug into it, it was smart. This idea of like he, instead of I'm not the villain, you have always been the villain. You guys hated me and booed me, and that's a hallmark of John Cena's entire career for like the middle part almost. That is getting booed, the split crowds. Putting the emphasis on the fans. You guys are the wrong ones. I'm not the wrong ones. I'm not changing anything. I am who I am. I got here because of who I am. And, just purposely going to that because we're again so used to, oh, I'm bad, I need to change things. And a lot of cases that it needs to happen. Like, for example, Street Profits probably really need to change their theme. It doesn't fit anymore. Like you need to make some changes, but he kind of went against that in a unique way. And I'm curious to see how it plays out. I wouldn't be surprised if there are changes that still do come eventually, but at least in this first iteration, we have that. But yeah, I think it was fantastic. It was a historic moment. The Brussels crowd was phenomenal. They kind of hit all their parts, even though there was no written parts for them. They all hit it. I was hoping at one point they would say we don't want anything, because he said you keep taking, like, we're not taking anything, like that'd be great. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So I guess we kind of answered this, but still throw it out there. Do you feel they answer? Because I saw like Tommy Dreamer's thoughts on this on Busted Open. He said it perfectly. Like he felt that John Cena answered all the questions we kind of would have had for this. Do you feel he answered all the questions? There's really not any kind of holes that were like, no, I'm still kind of confused on that. You feel like he did what he was supposed to in answering the why?
Not necessarily any holes, but I would like to hear a reason why The Rock. given their
That's
history and
true. That is true.
the rivalry that they had, that storied rivalry, the two main events and all the backstage stuff. For him to align with The Rock is a huge deal, and I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed. Why The Rock? If he was going to turn on the people anyway, why did he need The Rock? You know what I mean? What does The Rock add to this whole thing? So I think that's the only thing that really needs to be addressed. And there's still plenty of time between now and Mania, so they could definitely do that. I'm sure they will. But yeah, that's maybe the only thing that I think it needs to be addressed. Did a really good job of playing with the crowd. You know what I mean? It's really felt like he knew what this could turn into the crowd aligning with him because he's the cool new bad guy now and kind of turning on Cody, and he's been in that position on the other side of that, did not want it to happen, and he's in a special position to make sure it doesn't happen. So he was just hitting all the notes, signaling out both sides of the let's go Cena sucks, all of that, just really, checking all the boxes to ensure that not only was he in a good position as a heel, but that Cody was in a great position as the face in this whole scenario.
And I think that's a great point about that. Yeah, they didn't answer the why on The Rock, and it's something I was talking about with the wife, and I think that's the fascinating element that I liked about this. On a wrestling level, it's like, that's interesting, but on a life level, it makes tons of sense. This guy is a Hollywood actor. The Rock, for better or worse at this point, is still one of the biggest stars in the world. The fact that he's leaving, he has a new career he's going to. If he wants to take that career to new heights, why would you not want the help of one of the biggest stars on the planet and one of the biggest stars in Hollywood? So I hope they do answer that question, and that is the answer because it makes sense. Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm done with you guys. I broke up with you guys, as he said. I'm going on to become a big famous star, and The Rock's going to help me. He offered me the chance to help me take my career in the next career to another level. That's great. And I think going to our next question, you mentioned with Cody. Cody had a tough job in this whole thing, and I mentioned it on our new WWE Power Rankings. Please look it up on Ringside Intel. He had to be on the wrong side of one of the biggest heel turns of all time, and that's always the hardest part of a big heel turn. We saw it with Becky, Hogan, the NWO, The Rock with the final boss. All of a sudden, someone that was kind of maybe stale, all of a sudden has cool factor. So now you're counter to the cool person who is being the bad guy. And that's a tough thing to follow. When you're the top star, you got to be the baby face. And I think he did the right things to keep his edge, and then calling this guy the B word. This is that whole thing. This ain't the guy I want to fight. This whiny baby is not it. Go find that guy and then come back to me. And I think that was a great way to do it, to keep his edge, keep him strong. I think John Cena did a great job of saying nothing. He said everything with his face. If this was AEW, you'd have to have a back and forth and everybody's got to try to look good. No, this is business. Cody's still the face of the company now and going forward. This is just a setup going, what's coming in a month, and we got weeks to do it. I think they both nailed it. What is your view on Cody in the weeks since he got just this beat down? Where do you see his place and his status and where he's at after that? Because he had a tough job to do.
Yeah, 100%. In my mind, Cody's 3 for 3 in terms of WrestleMania builds, where there might have been some doubt as to his position. You know what I mean? Leading up to WrestleMania 39 against Roman, he could have easily been eaten alive, especially since at that time fans really wanted to see Sammy in that position against Roman. So Cody had that mountain to climb, and he did it successfully. Fast forward to WrestleMania 40, same thing, finishing the story. A lot of things that could have gone wrong to blow that, and he handled that fantastically and still made it to the finish line. And now here we are again on another build, and they're again hitting all the right notes. And this feels very deliberate as well. Just, you mentioned the edge. If Cena was the one with the edge, this could have gone completely awry. But Cody dropping the F-bomb at Elimination Chamber, calling him the B word on Raw, just the couple of promos where Cena wasn't around, Cody with the black eye, everything like that. It was very important to him to get out there, keep that connection with the crowd, and keep himself looking strong. And I think they've done that just fine. Unless something goes a hard left on the way to Mania, I think he'll be great. Cody's very savvy. You know what I mean? I mean, he's the son of Dusty Rhodes. You know what I mean? It's in the blood at this point. Dude has a fantastic mind for the business. You see it all the time. Any interviews you see or hear with Cody, he just has a terrific mind for this kind of stuff. So it's no surprise that he knows how to navigate these really treacherous waters and come out looking strong. And this is another case of it.